Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unfinished Fun. We are your hosts, Cam.
And Kia.
And today we're going to talk about why being an adult sucks and why it is so hard to remember to do the things you said you were going to do. Last episode, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the book Butcher and Blackbird. We went over several books that I promised to read and then didn't because that's my MO. And we talked about some projects that we were going to work on. Kia is far better at working on projects than I am, but I did read some things, they just were not on the list. Where do you want to start today?
Well, I am going to say I may not be far better at doing things that I say I was going to do. I said I was going to finish Butcher and Blackbird. I have not, mainly because it's a book and not an audiobook, and I truly just don't have time to just sit and do nothing.
Okay.
I would love to. It just
I
doesn't work.
thought I shared my Audible with you. Probably
You
shouldn't
have
say
several
this.
times.
Have I? Okay. It's like I have
I
the
just keep
audiobook
forgetting.
and it's
What?
so good.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Okay, the
Okay.
audiobook was what made me go buy the actual book because the voice acting in it is spot on, and I cannot handle um, audiobooks that are poorly acted. Like I even this is a complete segue. Like the book The Martian by Andy Weir is one of my favorite books. I love the movie and the audiobook. They re-recorded the audiobook with what is his name? The sci-fi actor whose name I cannot recall. But it's not as good as the original. So I have the original on CD and I've been like copying it over into
CD.
digital form because it's not I'm not particular.
How far back does this go?
Um, it goes back a while. Like I actually like this is the original audiobook.
Oh my
And
gosh,
it's
it's on
narrated
CD.
by C.R.C. Bray. And this was produced in I don't know. But for whatever reason, they went and re-recorded it with this actor whose name I don't know why I can't recall his name. He's Will Wheaton. Heard he's
You
kind
can't
of
recall
a
Will Wheaton?
he's kind. It's been a day, you know. I didn't like eat until like 8 o'clock today. I've been running on caffeine and nothing else. Heard Will Wheaton is kind of a dick. I don't know. Um,
Oh, that would be sad.
yeah, that's why I don't.
Well, he was a child actor, so
We all know how that goes, unfortunately.
yeah.
So to bring it back to the point I was trying to make, the audiobook is very, very good. I will share it with you so that you can listen to it, talking about the
Thank
audiobook
you.
for Butcher and Blackbird. Um,
Well, I think I finished so much of it originally because I had it was a library book on my tablet. So
oh,
I was just like, I only have this for a short amount of time. Like I had to, also, I was between classes. I've just started a new semester and um, that definitely affects reading. So, but okay, I do have notes, or if you want me to share them, or I can wait until I actually finish and I'll just bring all my notes at one time. What do you think?
I'm gonna say wait until you finish
Okay.
because the ending of the book. I need you to get to the end of the book
Okay.
and then give like the full.
Okay. I'll get there. Although I will say, um, I read more than where I left off the last time, I did read some, and then I took a break, but I forgot about that part. It had to do with the corpse.
Yeah.
Um, and then when I came back, I wrote down this phrase because it really just really made me laugh. Um, Pleated whole. that phrase. So I'm kind of glad I did not hear that on the audiobook because I think I would have like lost it. Cleaned it
You
whole.
want to share the context of that with the listeners?
No, I don't. Not right now. We'll come back to it. If you know, you know, and if you don't know, good for you.
Oh, wish you luck, listeners, if you get to that point. I what I did read, again, having nothing to do with the list that I went into depth on last 2 weeks ago. Some of y'all moody listeners who are always in your feels may or may not be familiar with the Song of Achilles, written by Madeline Miller. I cried. Cried the first time I read this because I had heard it was full of feels, and I was like, "What? No." It's basically a retelling of Achilles and I'm gonna say it wrong, Patroclus, and who's the son of a king, and how they're like in love, heavily implied, obvious in the book,
Wait,
and it hurts your feelings.
Achilles and Patroclus are in love?
Yeah, in the book.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of the movie Troy right now, and I'm like, no, that's
I know. We're all thinking of
okay.
Brad Pitt and the guy. So it's like it's her retelling of the fable.
Okay.
I picked it up not really knowing what it's about. Again, I ugly cried. That's totally not the point I'm getting to, though. The point I'm getting to is that I also picked up her book, Circe. I hope I'm saying that right. And it is the story of the daughter of, oh gosh, can I remember this right? Y'all, my mythology is a little sluggish. Helios, I believe. And she just pisses off Zeus and gets cursed, and her life is really difficult from then on out. That is not a very intelligent description of her story. It definitely goes much deeper than that. It's really good. It's not a story for the faint of heart. It's heartbreaking, actually, but I really love the way that she tells the story because it's told from the perspective of someone who just wants to be left alone. And is betrayed and hurt left and right. Men are trash, and it just that theme circles back around in a pretty traumatic way. FYI, trauma warning, in both of these books. But it was really good to read, and it was a really good read. It's hard for me right now because I am also busy, even though I am not in school.
You could be busy in life. It's understandable. You're an adult. Adulting is hard.
Adulting is hard. It's a scam.
So yeah, I just finished. Yeah. So I think the Song of Achilles on my so whenever I see books like on Instagram or something, I screenshot them and I add them to my list. And I have like a little folder in my photo gallery. So I do have that in there. Good to know that it is a feels book.
Maybe I'm just soft. I doubt it. But
no. If you're crying at the book, I think it is probably serious.
I don't cry easily for those who don't know me. Unless it's like maybe I'm stressed, maybe I'm hormonal. Who knows? I was driving home from work last week. Another segue into a wonderful audio series for sci-fi fans. It is a audio drama called Dust, and it has several parts. It is a collection of short stories narrated and written by different people, and each story has its own sci-fi twist to it. And then it does branch out into longer I believe book 2 is one story, and I don't recall what book 3 is about. But there was one short story. I found myself tearing up because I'll spoil it. Spoiler alert for those who have not listened to Dust episode. I think it's episode 6, called One Ship, and it's about like these aliens who are being attacked and basically about to be wiped out, and the humans come to help them, and they're like, "We don't need your help, puny humans, with your crappy like hoopty of a ship." And then they're like, "Nah, we got you. We got your back, fam." And I don't know why. I had listened to it before, but I was driving home after a really stressful day, and I started crying. I was like, "Yeah,
Oh,
get him." It was a really stressful day.
oh.
Anyway, highly recommend Dust, the entire audio series, if you like short stories and sci-fi.
Okay.
So off track right now.
I mean, I think our listeners know that we don't necessarily have a track, so you're good. I was gonna say, so like I finished the Barbarian,
The Ice
to go
Planet
from
Barbarians.
to go from like sci-fi to sci-fi, but like feels to just ridiculous. Yeah.
Wait, did you read
So
all
it
of
was
them?
so this was number 18, and I don't know if there's more. This last one is called Barbarian's Treasure. I'm on. Oh, no. I'm sorry. This is not the last one. The last one is Barbarian's Bride, but I did listen to that one too. I got them in my queue out of order. But yeah, this one was like a little BDSM ish, which I appreciated. Oh no, I'm sorry. The last one was Barbarian's Bride was BDSM ish. This one had like a foot fetish thing going on.
Oh,
Yeah, which was interesting. Not really into feet, but somebody is. So,
I didn't know there were this many.
mm-hmm.
Some reading to do.
And they're all good. So now I haven't seen all of them in print, but like the first maybe 7 I've seen in books,
Okay.
but the rest of them are in audio.
Okay.
But yeah, there's like 19. But even after the 19, the author, Ruby Dixon, she has other series that are also Ice Planet adjacent. So in one of the books, um, they discover like a whole new ship of people,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up going to like a little island, which is part of the ice planet, but like a little island on that planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the next series is, for the people who are living in the island area. Because some of them, like there was this one guy, so like the regular ice planet barbarians are blue, but the new people, there's one guy, I think he's like gold, and then another guy is red.
Okay.
They all they all have horns and tails. The men.
Theme.
But yeah, so I think that's what the next ones are for. So there are more books, but this is like the end of. Sorry, I'm yawning. This is the end of like the original set of books that we're reading, the Ice Planet Barbarians.
Okay.
I love like I have a new friend, and her daughter takes classes with my daughter, and we were discussing one day, and it's kind of a thing where you have to be like a little bit apprehensive because you can't just be like, hey, I'm into blue aliens that live on an ice planet and they have tails, and so we're both like talking about the kind of books that we read and stuff, and she said something about sci-fi, and I kind of like side-eyed her, and I was like, well, like what kind of sci-fi? Turns out we've both read these books, which was awesome.
I love it.
So it was so funny. And I was like, yes, I have somebody else I can talk about this too. Because yeah, it's kind of hard to lead into like,
How do you
hey,
lead into like ice planet, alien?
no,
Like
you can,
how do you there is no
yeah,
gentle way to segue into that. It's like you don't
no,
go,
there's
"Hey, have
not.
you seen the movie like James Cameron's Avatar?" Well, you know,
Exactly. Picture them with horns and a lot of pent up energy. Yeah. Yeah, there's no easy way to broach that topic.
did you get the
Um
were they audiobooks from the library?
yeah, so I read them on Libby, which you connect with your library.
Okay.
And that's what I got that through. So,
Because I don't want to buy like 18 books. I've been getting rid of books actually in preparation for uh life changes, and I want to say I've gotten rid of like maybe 30 ish books by
seriously?
now.
Wow.
Maybe more than that, because I've gone to like half price books, which I will tell you, listeners, you will never get your money's worth ever from one of these bookstores. If you have a lot of stuff to sell, please try and sell it on your own. Because I know that was like at least $150 worth of manga that I got rid of. And they're like, "We'll give you $30." I was like,
Oh,
so.
heartbreak.
But you know what? I had to Marie Kondo it. Like this does not spark joy,
Yeah.
and I got rid of this manga series I'd been collecting when I was a teenager and just stopped. Like I haven't read them in a decade or more, probably 2 decades. Um, and then I had some of the illustrated Harry Potter books, and I just couldn't see myself collecting the rest of them.
Hmm.
Um, and they were taking up a lot of space on my shelf. I'd rather have the entire UK box set. So I got rid of
Yeah.
those. Some of the books I read from the library sale, I cleaned those up, peeled the stickers off.
You got rid of them?
Yeah.
Like the Highlander ones
No, I still have
that you
those.
just got?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have like a couple other ones that I grabbed because they were cheap and I flipped through them and I'm like, I don't really think I'm going to read this. Um,
Yeah.
I'm very, very good at unlibrarifying
Okay.
books because you have to take the stickers and whatnot off. I don't think sometimes bookstore like resale bookstores will not take books that are stamped library copy because they
Oh,
don't want
I
people
you
like
stole them.
yeah they don't want that.
Yeah.
Some books that are stamped with like discarded are fine, but they
Hmm.
don't want people like side note, people do not steal books from your library and try to sell them.
Right.
Don't do that.
That's frowned upon
That's frowned upon.
and
I
illegal.
purchased these books with my own money from a library book sale and flipped through them, read a few of them, and then put them into back into circulation. I
Okay.
will use a hair dryer and acetone, which is actually still over here. I was working on this today. 100% acetone, hair dryer, to peel off the stickers and clean the books up. And then I typically will gently try to, with whiteout or a marker, like remove any library marks within the book.
Mhm.
Because I want to leave that book in good condition. And like I said, resellers probably give you like, I don't know, $1 per book or something like that. But I wanted it out
Yeah.
of my house, and now I can put gas in baby.
Yeah. Go around the block. Yeah.
Anyway, again, I've said
I we had a library book sale last week. I got a lot of books. A lot of like I don't even know when they're from. 80s romance, maybe Harlequin romance.
paper Harlequin
But
paperbacks.
yeah.
Yep.
I've never read them
Mm-hmm.
like that style of book. So I'm like other than seeing them described on like Golden Girls. So
Okay.
I'm excited for, just the imagery and everything. I there were some cowboy books. So
Oh,
yeah, Spicy Cowboys.
I
So I'm
feel
excited
like
for that.
those um thrift stores. That's a really
Mm,
good place to find if you just want some trash paperback books for a couple
I
bucks.
love trashy books. Yeah.
Go to a thrift store. Even though thrift stores are getting a little big for their britches these days,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
y'all are charging retail prices for someone else's stuff. It bugs me, but you can still find stuff.
Yeah. If you go to like the smaller ones, not the national chains.
Not Goodwill, Nation,
No,
Salvation Army. Don't do that.
no. But yeah. Yeah. Smaller, like locally owned ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can find some good stuff in there for sure. Um, yeah, we have one that has like several, like a full warehouse wall of books. So like mom has found a really good series, like the entire series of a book.
Wow.
Um, yeah. So you can go to those and get some good stuff, definitely. And it's economical and it's recycling-ish, I think. So if you have,
Yeah,
you
recycling.
know, yeah, if you want to be good for environmental purposes. That's not really my thing, but you know.
I do care about the environment. I will say you find interesting stuff in thrifted or resold books.
Mm-hmm.
Today I was in Half Price Books waiting for my uh waiting to be price gouged, and I was flipping through some book about education, and I found a photo of someone, like a photo of some kid from 1998. It was weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, it was.
Like not printed on the page,
No, like they
like
must
a
have
photo
set the
inside the
photo
book.
in the book or used it as a bookmark or something. And I felt
Oh,
weird about it because I was like, whoever put this in here could be like dead. Um,
right.
so I put it back. So I was like, I don't
It,
know. I'm
well,
weird
it's
about other
interesting that the
people.
person. Well, I was gonna say it's interesting that the person pricing the book didn't say like, "Here's your picture back."
Well, it was deep in the book. Like I was flipping through it. Um,
Oh,
so it was in there. I think when they're checking books, they really just check the condition of the book, front, back, first
mm,
inside covers, make sure there's
yeah.
nothing like wrong with it. Um, I'm assuming so because I'm like, y'all must not have looked very closely at some of the books I gave you to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I put it back because I am weird about it. It's not like a superstitious thing, but I don't want someone else's stuff that like
Yeah.
pictures of other people.
I don't
Don't
want
like that.
any kids stuff. That's weird.
Creepy.
Because like if my kid's picture was out there somewhere, it'd be like, please burn that immediately. Like, don't look at my kid.
Don't look at my kid.
So
Also,
yeah.
again, I am segueing into I'm ping ponging between topics. Sorry, y'all. My friend thinks it's weird that if I let her like braid my hair or something, which I probably may not do because my head is tender and her hands are rough. Like like any shed hair, I take it with me. And she's like, "Are you one of those people? Are you gonna go burn your hair so that no one can like do some like voodoo on it?" I was like, "No, I don't want someone to leave my hair at a crime scene and implicate me
Yeah.
in like a murder."
That's the first thing I was thinking of.
Yeah, I'm
No,
like,
so
no.
like the likelihood of her doing that, I think, is very slim. However, I understand the thought process.
You never know, is all I'm saying.
You never
Or
know.
like, what if like her boyfriend murdered her and then tried to pin it on me? And I'm like, I wasn't there. They're like, well, your hair was found here. And I'm like, ha,
Right. Or if, like, God forbid, her house burned down or something and they found a few fibers, they thought that you died in the fire.
that could be to my benefit though. Like I could escape
Oh
the
my God.
country,
Right.
run away,
Mm-hmm.
my debt
Mm-hmm.
and my responsibilities.
No, I definitely, like, since getting into mystery stuff, I definitely understand what you're saying. Cause like anytime I'm somewhere, I'm like, what if that person just went crazy? You know?
Mhm.
Like like, you see about the people who like went crazy in their office buildings and then would just murder everybody.
That is why I am nice to everyone. I will say it time and
Mhm.
time and again. It does not matter if that person is a visitor. I believe in respecting everyone and the job that they are doing. But I'm like, hi, how are you today? Can I help you with
Right.
that? That looks awfully heavy. I don't even know what
Or
your
like
business is about.
that one, I don't know if you ever watched Grey's Anatomy, but that one guy who went in and like I guess his wife died.
Who and he shot
Um
up the
and
yeah.
and the only person that he didn't shoot that he was close to was Christina, and because she like showed him where he needed to go, which was completely out of character for her. So like they were on the elevator together and he was like, "Hey, what floor
Where's
is
the
this
chief's
on?"
office?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, "Oh, it's here." Even though normally she would have been like, "Find it yourself."
Mm-hmm. That is why I am nice to everyone. And like I have been in a situation where it's like it wasn't I don't think I was actually in danger, but like my spidey senses were tingling because I had someone in my office and I was sitting there looking at him and something in me was just like, I
Something's
think I'm
off.
gonna figure out like it was so weird. Like I'm an anxious person for listeners who don't know, like clinically. And so, but it was so weird. Like I was sitting there and my leg was like jumping under the table because my body was so tightly coiled wanting to get out.
Yeah.
And the person was just we were talking and they were having a hard time with some stuff, so we were just talking through it and I'm listening and the whole time I'm like calculating how can I get out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Know where
like you
your
listen to
exits
that
are, folks.
instinct because I found out later that person had had some difficult encounters. So my
Whoa.
instincts were right.
Yeah.
Not that
Goodness.
that person would have been dangerous in any way. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that like whatever vibe I was getting was
Yeah, it was
accurate.
legit.
So
Yeah.
whenever you're looking at someone and like, maybe I should leave this area, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it.
Yeah,
Don't
for
question it.
sure.
Be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
Even because I want to be like Christina and live.
Right. Like even I mean, it's just human decency. Like you don't have to be overly friendly or go out of your way, but just, smile every once in a while. Don't go out of your way to be a dick. So,
That's how you die
but
first. I was reading a book.
yeah.
No, it was it used to be a web series and now it's a show. And I've been watching the show. I'm only a few episodes in. It's called All of Us Are Dead. It's a Korean drama about zombies,
Mm. Oh,
just to
okay.
context. And one of the characters is being an absolute capital B. And in this episode, she does something awful, like truly awful. And I'm just waiting. I'm like, oh, that is going to come back on her in some kind of way. And like, I'm looking forward to it now. Um,
Mhm.
so, all of which to say, don't be.
Right. Also, if you're just like decent, then people will be decent to you. So, karma and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think I consider myself a nice person. Like, I've had like people bring me brownies and like,
Mhm.
I don't know how to continue that thought without sounding vain. Okay, stop.
Well, sounding vain and sounding like a bee are different things, so that's okay. But yes, so, listeners, just be kind,
Be
basically.
kind.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Treat others as
So,
you want to
okay,
be treated.
I want to go back to thrift stores and things like that for a second. I'm looking at my spreadsheet. Listeners, if you remember from a few episodes ago, I have a book spreadsheet that is wildly out of date. Um, but there's one that I'm looking at right now that when I went to the bookstore or the book fair, I was looking for these books by Vivian Shin. So she has this whole line of I don't really know. They're mysteries. So this one that I read was called Fatal Fried Rice.
Hmm.
All the books are food themed, Chinese food themed. It's about this girl named Lana, and she and her family own a Chinese food store. Lana has witnessed or come upon many crime scenes, and she helps solve murders because, that's what you do. I can't find these books. I can't find these books anywhere. Like, they're not super new, but like I can't find them in thrift stores. I can't find them at the book fair. Like, I found a few at the library. Um, have you heard of these books or
No,
seen
I'm
them?
interested though.
Yeah, so okay, so this one's Fatal Fried Rice. There's Dim Sum of All Fear. Um, it's Sweet and Sour Suspects. Like, they're all food themed. Um, I can't think of the others. There's a lot of them though, but I really like them. And they're just the short little books. So but they're entertaining, they're kind of funny. If you ever get a chance to listen to the audiobook, I don't know the woman's name, I think, oh, I don't remember her name, but it sounds like she is of Asian descent, and she just has like the
Mm.
best accent. It's very like, and she's very expressive in her words. So
Mhm.
like I really enjoy it. So whenever I read the book, like I read it with her accent in my mind. Um,
Okay.
but I can't think of, I can't find them anywhere.
Oh, I will keep my eyes out. And you said the author is Vivian.
Vivian Chen. It's Chien.
Okay.
So, but I mean, if you come across like Asian food titled mystery book, then
Okay.
you're in the right
Dim
spot.
Sum of All Fears is my new favorite thing. That is so clever.
Yeah, they're all really like cutesy like that. There's a lot of people. Okay, so I did buy books from this one lady. I don't, I don't remember her name. Hold on. Okay, so I did buy one of her books, Vivian Shen's book. It's called Misfortune Cookie. I did
Okay.
get that from Barnes and Noble. However, like, and I want to support her. I really do. I am cheap. So if I can find a discounted book, then that's what I'm doing. However, my second in Charles doesn't have them either that I have found.
Try Amazon's used books.
Didn't know that was a thing, but yes.
So when you get on, when you search for a book on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and it's Vivian Chen Mysteries. Chen.
Where it says like other options.
Uh huh.
So I always see those, and then they're like, do you want to buy this book for 50 cents? And then it's $8 shipping. And I'm like, no, I'm not paying $8 shipping on a 50-cent book.
Well, so okay, that's fair. I think the used books. Maybe it's been a while. It's been a while since I've gotten a book on Amazon. Yeah, yeah. So it's like used, good condition, used,
Mm-hmm.
acceptable, and it's like $3.99 for shipping. Um,
Yeah.
that's pretty standard. I think $3.99 is standard for sure. So it's like if you do the math, it might come out to cheaper than buying
Barnes and Noble.
certainly buying it from Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah. I have Prime, and it's against my moral compass to pay for shipping.
That's
So,
fair.
yeah.
No, that is absolutely fair. It's like I am paying to use this service. Why should I have to pay more? Um,
Yeah. Which is also, me being cheap. But
I would definitely say look for. I was trying to find another used bookseller. I think just hunting around, you can find stuff from like Book Outlet. There are a lot of online book resellers where
Yeah.
you may be able to find your book for a bit cheaper. Just a thought.
Yeah. I'll have to look around and see.
I will keep my eyes open though.
Thank you.
Series looks really interesting. I'm gonna bookmark it. I love
What
like
is it?
food themed mysteries. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember their name, but like there's a lady that like she writes about, I think it's like bakery stuff. Like she's a home baker or something. I don't
Mm-hmm.
from That's the gist that I get from the cover and the description. And then there's a cat involved somehow.
Yep, there's a lot of cat mystery books. Like I was just thinking of the Cat Who series that I loved when I was younger. I was probably
Hmm.
too young to be reading those books, honestly. But it was a
Are they
writer
about murder?
who, huh? Yeah, murder.
Oh.
It's about a writer who solved mysteries with his two Siamese cats. I
Ooh.
think that's what it was about, if I'm recalling that correctly. And I loved those books.
Mhm.
Again, probably a little intense for a 9-year-old,
Yeah.
10-year-old, but
Yeah. Probably.
I read
Hmm.
a lot when I was a kid. But yeah, I mean, that is. Well, one more segue. Would you like to talk about your project that I. Or no?
How long have we been on here?
A minute.
Well, it's 40. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
We
I
can.
just want to know because I want to know your thoughts.
Okay. So, I won't go into like spoilery type of detail because. Um. I assume an unfinished work. But why don't you. Have you talked about it on the
Okay.
podcast before?
Yeah. Let me get in. Okay, listeners. So Cam has read the email that I sent her like 2 weeks ago.
More than 2 weeks
Um,
ago.
More than 2 weeks ago, of the random chapter that I sent her for um the project that I'm working on very slowly. So just for a quick recap, this is a book about two sisters who they're orphans and they pretty much just have each other. One sister is outgoing, life of the party. The world is her playground. The other sister is she's younger. She's very timid. She's um, not open to like any adventure without lots of caution first. Um, and then eventually they go to a cabin. They come upon a magic book. They cast spells. They entrap men and decide that they are going to use those men for crime. This is what I'm working on. Um, and Cameron has read it. Now, let me say, the chapter that I wrote, as are most of the things that I write, completely unrelated from the beginning, the original chapter. So, like the first chapter that I wrote, um, it was really good. Not to toot my own horn, but it was really good. And I wrote it within like a couple of hours, and it's like the very first chapter of the book. The second chapter that I wrote, which was just a few weeks ago, it's going to be like chapter 20. I mean, it's not sequential. It just came to me. So hopefully it fits in correctly when I get to chapter 20 in the book timeline. Also, it's not finished because I started writing it late at night and then I ran out of steam. And so I know, like, Cam, the last few sentences was just me, like, I have to wrap this up. And I'm sure you could tell when you read it was like, it was very like nondescript words, like just filler sentences. Can you give me your thoughts on this? Let me know if you like the direction, if it was interesting. This was a little bit of a spicy chapter, but I'm not finished writing it. I just could not live any longer at the time.
Right. I like it. It was fun to read. I think that the personalities of the two sisters are very distinct, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
the men are appropriately like dumb, which is also good.
Yeah.
It was a little hard to like get because you're jumping in, and I was like, okay, wait. She's obviously very comfortable with this. How long have they been doing
Yes.
this?
Yes.
And it was fun to read. I'm very curious to read like the beginning. Like, does the series itself pick up where they've already been at this for a while, and is the beginning told through flashbacks, or does it start like straight from the beginning? That I'm very curious about, because I think that would give more structure to the personalities of the sisters.
No. So the very first chapter that I wrote is pretty much them. Let's see. It's the older sister's birthday. I think she's turning like 30 or something like that. The younger sister, they all went out for their birthday. The younger sister ended up going home with somebody, which is very out of character for her. And it's this like billionaire guy, who will come into play later on in the series. But she's just met this person. She comes home and tells her sister, and her sister, she's like shy and kind of like weird about it.
mm-hmm.
The sister's like, "Oh, great job, girl. Let me make you pancakes." Like that kind of dynamic. So this is like after they cast a spell, they've probably done like one or two crime. I don't want to say exactly what the crime is yet. But they've probably committed one or two crimes already. So they very much know these people that the older sister was with. Like I said, this is like chapter 20. This is
Mm-hmm.
not chapter 2. There probably won't be flashbacks. I think it's going to be like chapter 1 on until, and like I know how the end of this book will go. Which is going to be, maybe I'll write that one next. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, let me get your thoughts though. So, a lot of books now that we're reading are multi, I don't really know how to say it, multi perspective, I guess. One
Mm-hmm.
chapter is one person, one chapter is another person. Do you like that style of reading, or does that kind of take you out of it and you want like the author's perspective?
I do like that style of reading. Frankly, it depends on whose perspective I am reading. So with this, I would be more interested in reading the perspective of the sisters. Really don't give a
Mhm.
hoot about their victims. Um,
Oh, no. I don't either.
yeah.
Um,
No,
yeah,
but
so
I.
that's what I'm kind of deciding. Like, I enjoy this style of reading. I think like when there's um, so many characters and like key players, I think from specific perspectives, I feel like it helps me stay focused better on like what I'm reading. I mean, depending on what's happening or who's written a book, occasionally I do have to go back and like, wait, who's saying this? Um, but I think that I do like the perspective of like the one or two main characters going back and forth. Because when you only get the narrator's perspective, so I think sometimes you miss out on like some of the emotion and
Mhm.
those like internal thoughts that other people wouldn't necessarily be privy to if it's a narrator saying it. So I think that's how I'm writing the book. Um, Obviously, there are many edits that need to be made. Thank you for your feedback. Uh, Once I re-edit this chapter, I'll send it to you because I like how I ended it. It's not even how it goes. There's a lot more to it. I
Mhm.
just literally like hit a wall. Um,
If I can make one suggestion
mhm.
in terms of language, like writing language, descriptor words.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing I would expand.
So kind of like a pleated hole type of situation.
Yes, because we were talking about like the Ice Planet Barbarians, and like there's a style of writing with like that I feel like is more reserved for like quick, spicy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel, and this is just my perspective, I don't feel like the story is meant to be quick, spicy.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was there. The line that sticks in my head is just, it's something like burly, raspy.
That I wrote?
Yes.
Huh.
You may not
That's
remember,
amazing.
right?
I don't remember. I'm telling you, I hit a wall. Like, this is like very much first draft of this particular chapter. This is not like I have to edit what I wrote, but then also I have to add the second part of that I had in my mind. I just couldn't, it got to the point where I was like writing, I couldn't form sentences. I had young people asking me questions and wanting to snuggle. So I was like, okay, I'm done writing this chapter, I guess. So
No, and
yeah,
I
but there's
like
more.
Huh?
There's a lot more to it. Like, it's not done. That's like a small snippet, maybe like a fourth of what I have planned for this chapter. So,
Yeah,
but whenever I edit it, I'll send it to you.
Please do. I have written so much short form drama and spice that will never see the light of day.
Which really makes me sad because you don't even share it with me, but I know it's good.
Maybe someday. I just need to like collect it all from its various places in the ether. Like, what was one? It's always at like 3 a.m. that I do these things because who needs sleep?
Honestly.
If my notes app ever gets like hacked one day, I will throw myself in front of a bus.
Yeah.
So just lines like, he touched the back of her neck because he liked the way it made her shiver. Just lines like that. Or he knew another way to make her shiver, and he knew how to make her shiver and shout and shake until her teeth chattered, just trying to hold, or until his teeth chattered, just trying to keep hold of her skin. I don't know what I'm going to do with that.
Is that all you have written for that?
Yeah, like that's literally it. And then it goes into a grocery list.
In the same note?
Eggs. Oranges, like, no.
See, mine are like that. But I at least have multiple. Let me read you this one that I have. And it's not even like it made me laugh. Like going back and reading it. Because from this like 2 or 3 word sentence, I was like, oh, I can do like 4 different writings from this. Oh, I don't even know where it is.
So like another one, and like again, I don't know where these things go, but it's like, you couldn't cut yourself out of a noose if I handed you the scissors.
That's a good insult.
Right?
Yeah, I like I don't even know. Like these go back to 2020.
I think mine go back.
These go back pretty far.
2021.
Yeah, it's something like, I had one that said like wiggle for me or something. And I was like, oh, I could make this into like 5 different fanfics or whatever. But I have no idea. I mean, it went back like 4 years, so I have no idea what I was even thinking that was going to go with. But maybe one day.
Yeah, I need to do a collection style writing,
like essay.
Like, I don't know, not even an essay. There are poetry books I have where it's just like 1, 2, 3 line poetry. I love stuff like that. And I do keep things like that because it's like I have one line that says, "And we just go about our days living in a body that this world wants to strip for parts." That's metal.
Yeah, it
I'm like,
is.
that's gonna
You
resonate
can
with
make that into something for real.
yeah. And I'm like, and that's like just that. I'm like, I could just make a book of these things and like a depressed Gen Alpha or whatever they are now.
Yeah.
That'll resonate with
I have
someone.
no idea. Puts in like very raw like illustrations with it or something.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So again, I love dramatic stuff. I'm also sad because I think I lost my bookmark in Song of Achilles at the part that made me cry.
Aw. That's not good.
Anyway, I mean the whole book. But anyway. So to bring things back to center, as we have been bouncing all over the place for this.
I don't think we've been in center this whole episode.
We haven't. Again, you people who listen to this, you know what you're here for. So
Yeah.
I definitely look forward to reading your next chapters on this project that you've been working on. I will try at some point to collect bits and pieces and snippets into something that I can share with you. I do have a snippet piece. No, it was a fanfic. It was like a snippet fanfic
Mm-hmm.
that I wrote when I was still in undergrad. It
That
was
was a while ago.
justified. I'll dig it up.
Raylan Givens.
Huh?
All right. Raylan Givens.
Oh, it was about Tim.
Oh, yes. Okay. Please find that.
I will find it and dig it up for you. I know it was on my old laptop that crashed, but I think I saved it somewhere.
Yeah. I would love to hear that. Also, I am looking forward to finishing Butcher and Blackbird when I get the audiobook version. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And, completing my notes. Because I do want to know how this ends. Also, I want to know when the Lark book comes out.
Yeah,
And we
I need
can
the author
update
to
listeners
get
of
a
that
move
one.
on.
Yeah. So we
Um,
have our homework.
We have our homework. Hopefully we will stick to it next time. I don't know why I say that. I know we won't, but at least finishing Butcher and Blackbird and getting this snippet work together for my dear sister is something that I can do. And hopefully, listeners, we will have some notes and feedback for you on our next episode when we come back in a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll see you soon.
Finally, though, thank you for listening to us. I'm Cam.
And I'm Kia.
And this has been another episode of Unfinished Fun. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.